Stephen, what's the thoughts? Obviously, a couple of weeks to prepare for this one. You've been doing a few different things over the last couple of weeks just to keep things lively.
Yeah, no, look, I think off the back of a poor result against Aberdeen, we got the break before the Aberdeen game, maybe at a time that we'd have rather played, because we'd won the 2 in the bounce and maybe you want to keep that momentum. But after the defeat, maybe it was good to get away, and we had a wee trip to the paddle tennis, which was, don't know if any of you have done it, but it was good fun, and just freshened up a wee bit. There was quite a lot of boys away in international, which was great. Shows how well they've been doing individually. And today, obviously, we'll be fully back together and looking forward to. We've obviously been preparing for St Mirren, but whenever you get everyone back in, you can really kind of hone in on it.
Who was the star of the paddle tennis?
Look, I think they tried to claim it was robbery that I got up to the top court, but I think quality's permanent.
Do you see this maybe as a last chance maybe to keep those top 6 scopes alive? Is that what you're looking at?
I think after the run we've been on, kind of blew up our season after the 4th, 5th weekend. We went that long run without a win. I think it is just really important to be trying to hit consistent performance levels, and when you have a blip, is you don't let the blip become another run. Runs are great when they're on the positive, but when runs start to be as a negative and not getting a win, it can obviously build pressure and starts to kind of snowball into more things. So look, it's important we're going to a game obviously off the back of 2 wins out of the last 3 if you want to picture it like that, but the both ourselves and St Mirren have won 2, drew 1 in our last 5, so it's a very tight affair. I think we've pretty tight games all in this season, and St Mirren have shown they're a top side. The manager again has them well organised, has them meticulously prepped, and it will be a tough game for us, and hopefully when we can win, and if we do win, then we see where the other results fall and we go for them.
Is it something you talk about, Stephen, in the change room? Finishing top 6, just staying up, or is it just?
Yeah, I think certainly for us on our season it needs to be staying up. For us to be sitting here after not winning in 12 games and saying we should be finishing top 6 would be just arrogant. I think we have good players. I think we've got good players. We've shown some top performances, but we haven't been consistent as a squad. Injuries along the way can obviously curtail things, but we need to strive for better consistency, because there's no doubt the quality to be a top 6 side is in the dressing room, but without the consistency it doesn't matter.
I wanted to ask you about Scotland. Obviously just come off 2 friendlies, yourself played so many times under Steve Clarke. What do you make of the 2 friendlies and where the team are heading into the European Championships?
I think obviously you'd have liked to have got a win in one of the 2 games naturally, or both. I think it's always difficult. You play Hull on the top side. If you get beat 1-0 and the performance that it was, nobody bats an eyelid. It was a really good performance. It's nothing but positives. Naturally, how it kind of ended, that people can start to see the more negative side and the more sinister side. The Northern Ireland game's just a hard game. Team sits behind the ball. Michael O'Neill's got them well organised, and then they get a goal against the run of play, and it's disappointing how the night ended. But I don't think there'll be any panic within the squad, within the ranks. The quality's there. It was a different proposition, a team sitting that deep. Don't think we'd have faced that in a long time. But it shows how far we've come, that they're respecting us. There was the games we were playing against when I was involved, against sides that kind of similar ranking to Northern Ireland, and they would have a go at us. So it shows you how far we've came under Steve Clarke and how good the squad is.
You expect them to bounce back ahead of the Euros?
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, I think it'd be nice at the next 2 games if we were to get wins in the build-up. I think it's at Gibraltar and Finland. Mm-hmm. So look, it'd be nice to get that before the Germany game. But again, I think no matter what happens in the next 2 games, you're going to go into the Euros. Yeah, it might maybe burst the bubble outside it, but come that Germany game, by God, I think everybody's going to be well motivated and well excited. So I don't think it matters how the results go.
I just wanted to ask you about Nathan Patterson as well. Yourself, you played right back for the national team at a major tournament. You know the pressure that comes with playing in the national team. He's been criticised by a few people online. But what do What do you make of it, and how do you deal with that as an international player?
How I deal with it and how Nathan Patterson deals with it could be completely two different things. Nathan's a young man that's his career's still massively ahead of him, despite he's only what age is he? And he's played for Scotland, played for Rangers down in the Premier League. So he doesn't need any sort of advice from me how he handle criticism. We've all had it and we'll all continue to get it. I think for me Scotland was always the biggest spotlight I've been under in my career, so it was maybe a different sort of a feeling, but these guys operating at the top level, you look at the three fullbacks, just talk about them, Hickey, Patterson and Ralston, they all operate teams that are getting far more scrutiny than you would with Scotland, so they're well adverse to dealing with, or they're well prepped for dealing with any criticism that comes their way, rightly or wrongly. So it's look, again, just shows you how far the squad's come. They can deal with all this sort of adversity, if that's what you want to call it, and I'm sure it will be nothing but better for it.
Stephen, I gather congratulations on another.
Yeah, no, a couple of weeks ago now, to be fair, but yeah, no, so third wee boy, so kept busy. I think that's what my weekend off was pretty much full throttle, but yeah, turn up at a christening that my wife organises and realise what have we got all this for? It was a bit excessive, but no, look, it was obviously great. Baby was healthy and everything, so wife's still got a wee bit of bother, but she's getting it.
Okay, how does that sort of thing affect you, sort of playing on the pitch? Is it kind of a settled family life? Does that help?
No, look, I think it does. It's been settled. I think it maybe the sleeps. I'm running out of bedrooms to run to, so I find myself kept in beside my wee boy. So try to get a good night's sleep. No, look, I think it's part and parcel of it. I think it's obviously it's a positive. It just does make sometimes you're going home and we thought we'd nailed it. The two were getting to 3. She was nearly at nursery. You're thinking, geez, will come the summer, I'm going to be a new man. But no, look, it's actually play with fire, you get burnt.
No worries, moving on to Saturday. Rather than asking you what you expect from St Mirren, what do you expect from Motherwell?
I think a team looking to. I think there was bits of the Aberdeen game that were really good, but there was also kind of some slackness in amongst that. Rushed play maybe would be a good way, certainly at 0-0. So I think hopefully a calmer and a better performance. I think that's what it needs to be, and it needs to be to beat St Mirren as well. So I think naturally we're looking to try and win the game. We're at home, we're in front of our fans who've been great. So we just need to make sure that we make the first pass. I think that's probably the biggest thing I would have taken away from the Aberdeen game, and especially when it was 0-0. We were in control after that when they were winning, but it's obviously a lot. They're sitting back. They've got something to defend. So hopefully a more controlled first pass, and then maybe mounting attacks and get our quality players involved in the final third.
You've enjoyed that recently. Obviously, had a good spell in the back three. You enjoy that, obviously, you're back.
Yeah, no, look, I think I've said all along. I want to play, so I've never cared. I hope if I'm playing well in a position, it's remembered. If I move to another position, so that naturally, if it form dips, you can go elsewhere. But I'm just happy playing. You look at McGinn. I think McGinn's played across the foot back five, every position. It's a good thing to have. Obviously, sometimes I'm sure you'd like to just be nestled in one, but wherever the manager sees fit, I just hope that it's in the starting 11, and that's all I'm bothered with.
How's the? I think you're in the same situation as most of the players with contracts due to expire. Does that create a wee bit of uncertainty among the whole?
I think with the third kid coming along, creates a wee bit more uncertainty. The hemorrhaging money, I think that's the best way to put it. No, look, I think naturally you want your future sorted sooner than later, but we've been in the industry long enough to know that doesn't always happen, and all you can do as a player is try to perform as well as possible to then hopefully have options, because with options comes kind of more positive conversations. So that's all you can kind of hope for, and that's all personally I can. You can think about it when you're planning summer holidays and stuff. Think, oh, well, when am I back in? I don't know yet. But without that, it doesn't really come into your thought. You're just trying to perform as well as possible for Motherwell. And as I said, if that's playing and playing well, then then you'll be in a good position.
I suppose the more wins you get in the next few weeks, the more chance the club will have to, to know what they're going to do, position they're going to be in, and situation.
No, definitely. Look, I think there's obviously been things going on in the background with the club. I think that's starting to get sorted this weekend, so that's a positive, because all those things do have a knock-on effect to the manager and what he's able to do. So no, look, I think it's trying to be calm and stay positive on the pitch, and hopefully if you're on the pitch to perform well.